Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
Welcome. Fight Mixer. We are here finally with ECF President and CEO, the owner of Extreme Fitness, located in Liverpool, New York, a great facility, multiple-time amateur MMA champion, BJJ black belt, state champion in wrestling. The list of accolades go on and on. Mr. Christian Defiris. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys? And thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. So, huge card coming up. ECF back with a vengeance. June 26th. Congratulations, by the way. You weathered the storm through the pandemic. Coming back to Queens, New York for a huge fight card. Remember to buy the tickets on watchecf.com and order the pay-per-view on Fight Planet TV. Tell us, how's the road been getting ECF back and running this great show out of Queens, New York, and ECF running once again?
Two fight cards. Fourth, right? I got scratched. So it feels great back, New York State Athletics, ISKA, everything to have a safe for our fighters. 20 fights, probably end up with about 20, but it's amazing. The fan is unbelievable response to our return. The support is absolutely. I'm actually doing a show because of the amazing amount of fighters and support that we're getting, and everyone that wants to get on the card. So it's going to be a great summer. It's going to be
Awesome. And this show is again taking place June 26th. There's some trouble hearing. What was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, out, but it's
the audio is horrible.
Yeah, there's a little bit of audio difficulties on your end. We're gonna talk to the producer Matt about that. Matt, can we?
Nothing I can do.
Christian, can you try coming out from a laptop, or are you doing it through your phone, or do you have headphones?
I have it through my phone right now. Hold on 1 second. Perhaps.
Okay, no, not a problem.
Yeah, it's I didn't hear anything that was said at all.
I didn't either.
Okay, I hope I'm not the only one, but I was just sitting here going like, okay, well, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So essentially, June 26th, big event, Queens, New York, and Zura nightclub. It's going to be taking place. It's going to be live on Fight Planet TV, where you can order the pay-per-view. I believe the price is going to be $15.99. You can also buy tickets on watchecf.com, where tickets are still on sale, and you gotta buy these tickets quick. Tickets sell out pretty fast. They have VIP sitting where you can meet all the fighters. Also, there's standard seating as well available. And meet the ring guard girls, meet the fighters, meet Christian. It's a great time. And what I love most about the ECF, especially as a commentator, the vibe. The vibe when you walk into the arena, when you actually sit down and watch an ECF event, is for everybody. Where, MMA is kind of like tailor-made for one demographic, the hardcore, diehard MMA fan. But Christian, you're able to build the ECF where anybody can walk in and just, even if they're not the most, hardcore, diehard MMA fan, they can walk in and have a good time. And you're all about presentation. So what was the process of building ECF up to where?
It's more than just watching the fights. It's definitely an experience. I try to put that pageantry. I try to make it similar to a UFC, Bellator, WWE type event. I try to put a great platform on for the guys and the girls for all the athletes to really push forward and give it their best fight possible. Really impress the fans. I want the fans to be blown away at all times. This is the future. This is the talent that in 2 or 3 years they're going to see on pay-per-view in the UFC or Bellator. So to catch these people on their rise, is really amazing, and really watch them grow through their career. It's been amazing for me to watch as a promoter. So I'm sure for the fans, it's been an amazing experience. So we've had about 30, a little bit more than 30 fighters go from ECF to Bellator, and a sprinkle of a few have gone into the UFC. But all of them have gone into amazing pro promotions throughout the world. Even one, we have a few fighters that went to one out in Asia. So it's just great to have a platform that could really send people to the next level for the serious fighters who are really thinking about making this a real career. This is definitely their step there.
Awesome. And how are you able to identify the talent? Because you go into an ECF event, every fighter brings something, whether from skill, from talent, from their gym that they come from, the ability to sell tickets, of having this entertaining persona. Like, how are you able to identify talent? Like, that guy should be on my card. That guy or girl should be on my fight card. What do you look for in talent when developing?
Very obvious, but sometimes my job is to develop these fighters and to find the diamonds in the rough and see something special in them, and to give them the right pointers, work with the coaches and let them know what they need to make it to a superstar level. I try to explain to a lot of people, the fight game is more than just being a great fighter. It truly is. And a lot of people need to understand that. They need to be able to connect with fans. They need to be able to give good interviews. They need to be able to pack seats. They need to be able to create a buzz that makes people want to watch them. And I really try to help out. I grew up fighting and competing myself. My stepfather was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. My father was a boxer. So I grew up in gym my whole life. I competed at a very young age, all throughout my adulthood, until my 30s. And, it's a lot more than just being an amazing fighter. There's a lot of amazing fighters out there who could probably knock out, this, that, and the other. But unfortunately, they don't get to that level that they should be on because they're missing some recipe. So I try to create the platform. I try to highlight the fighters and coaches, and I try to help them and give them the criticism or just letting them know what they need if they truly want to make it to that level and be a superstar. I keep it very real with people, So that's what I pride myself on.
Right. And as a business owner, you, as a fight promoter, you're also a business owner as well, where you run your gym and you're actually developing talent and helping fighters reach to where they want to go. And this is where Gabe can relate to. This guy right here, he also runs a gym out of California. Yeah. Developing a business like a gym that can survive and weather any type of storm, even a pandemic. I just want to get to not just being a promoter, but also a businessman and business owner. And maybe you and Gabe can talk about how are you able to develop this gym and build it up where, can weather any storm.
Yeah. I mean, my promotion was on hold for the last year and a half. And during the pandemic, we completely shut down for 2 months. But you know what? I literally moved my gym into my parking lot. I took all the bags that were portable, I put them outside, and I started giving outdoor classes for the whole neighborhood. I was promoting it. I was doing online classes as well for those who are still fearful of being in groups and even being in an outdoor setting. So I gave free online training throughout the entire pandemic. I didn't charge anybody for online training for those people that were stuck in their house. And for those who were tired of being cooped up, we got it in the parking lot, man. I taught a class every day, and the parking lot started with 3 people, and then eventually it was packed out where there wasn't enough room, there wasn't enough bags for the people there. So you got to get creative during these times. You can't be afraid to think outside the box. You can't be afraid to downsize. You can't be afraid to reach out to your local community and just ask for help. I reached out to the mayor of my town. We got a ribbon cutting coming up. I've been featured in the local newspaper a few times for different things I've done for the community. It's all about giving back. A community knows if you're just there to make money or if you're actually a part of the community trying to help the town that you're in. So I always try to help any way possible to my area of Limbrook or the five surrounding, anything that I can do to help out anybody in New York. I've got fighters that travel and train with me for free because they can't afford to train anywhere else. A lot of people lost their gyms. And, what we do is an outlet for a lot of people. An outlet, it's a way to relieve stress. It's a way to escape, certain realities. And, you got to be there. You got to be there to help people out. You got to give them that outlet. You got to give them something to hard for, especially this day and age. There's so much negativity and so much going on in the world that the happiest time I have is when I'm on the floor training, whether jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai. I get lost in my training. I have fun. I teach. And once that's all done, then the everyday problems come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Gabe, you can pretty much relate on this issue, considering that you were also a gym owner too, and you had to keep your gym afloat, right, Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to think outside the box, and you have to change things around and do things that for instance, we had to paper over our windows, and we were holding classes in almost like a speakeasy where you had to tell people in advance that you're coming, and then we were following the protocols of COVID, where checking temperatures, and you had to change clothes out, and classes were limited to 45 minutes instead of an hour. And but I mean, it's it was a difficult time, but the strong survived, and you either overcome it or you cease to exist. And there are a lot of gyms that decided to close up shop, and I've lost a lot of friends lost gyms, and a lot of businesses. And I'm thankful that Kaiju was able to stay afloat, and it sounds like Christian's gym was as well. So it's says a lot about
that, brother. Really sad to hear about people's gyms closing down. Really upsets me.
Yeah, and do you believe, you guys, that, and Christian, especially you as a business owner, and Gabe too, do you believe that since the pandemic, 60% of businesses that closed are closed permanently? And can you just see the forecast? Can you forecast what was going to happen in the future and how you're going to be able to rebuild? Will it ever get back to normal? What's your focus on, and what do you think the future holds for you guys?
Honestly, the martial arts community, the MMA community, we're a different breed, man. I had people that were ready to train, mid-pandemic. I had to hold off. I had to let them know that we had to wait for the protocol set and so on. Who knows what the future holds? I think things are starting to turn around. I truly hope that within a year or two, a horrible thing of our past, but I really don't know. It's really sad. 60% of them are not going to reopen. I have friends who have lost their business, and it truly is. Hopefully on the upswing, things are opening back up. The vaccine is out. People are getting vaccinated, and as long as cases keep going down, then everything should be going back up. So let's just pray for the best and stay positive.
And getting back to you and your history with mixed martial arts, how did you get involved with mixed martial arts? I know your stepfather was a boxer, and did he get you into it, or just following his path?
Dad's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's black belt. Paulo Cuevas, and I've been around the fight game my whole life. My father was in and out of boxing gym 4 or 5 years old. My stepfather had a gym since I was about 13. And, it became natural. I wrestled in high school. I wrestled in college. It came naturally. I love the game. I've always been in the game since its first came out. Since it was first in New York, I've been involved, young kid. So it was just something that came natural to me. I gravitated towards it. I studied exercise nutrition in college. I was a personal trainer in Manhattan. training Muay Thai back in 1999 when no one really knew what the hell Muay Thai was then. So it was interesting for me. I was involved in the 90s, but it was not popular at all. And then I watched it literally grow, animal that it is today. And I kicked myself in the butt for not taking it more seriously when I was a kid. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't popular. It wasn't like today where there's an academy in every neighborhood. We had Henzo's, and that was it. It was, there wasn't it was more of an underground thing than it was a mainstream thing. And now it's just exploded where, literally, even post-pandemic, there's still, I can't even count any gyms. Just working my promotion alone, I work with hundreds of gyms, so it's just sad to see some of them down, but I truly believe that the real martial artists and everybody who's a lifer and who's really about this life, they're going to find a way to come back. Probably by next year, a lot of people will reopen once things calm down a bit. I hope and pray, because I don't want to see anybody stay out of business. I don't look at it as competition. Family and got to eat,
Yeah, absolutely. And just going back onto June 26th card, what are the fights we can look forward to? Do we have the card ironed out, or?
You know what? I don't have the card on me. I'm actually at my mother's house. It was a beautiful day. She barbecued. I was here with my family hanging out. I'm here in the den. You can take a look around. All my family pictures here. There are so many action-packed fights on the card. There's so many talented fighters. Like I said, I'm working about 20 fights that are cooking right now. I might even do grappling opener where we do 4 fights to open up, just grappling, 4 or 5 fights earlier in the afternoon. And, I love martial arts. I've been doing this my whole life, so I look forward to seeing all the fights. It's been a year and a half that I haven't seen any live event, so I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy every fight that I put together. And I'm going to relax with my fans. I think it's going to be a great time. Like I said, so much support, so much momentum behind this show that we're doing a show 1 month later, July 31st, at Amazura Nightclub in Queens, New York, the Event Center. They hold some pro wrestling there. They also hold the Golden Gloves there. Beautiful space. Holds 3,500 people. We're going to be under some restrictions for the June 26th show because New York officially doesn't open up fully until July 1st. We are going to have some restrictions, but we're going to have everybody spaced out, and it's going to be a safe event. We're actually going to set up a testing booth outside for those who do not have a recent COVID test done. We're going to offer testing outside so everyone can feel safe. They can get their COVID test, get their answer in the next minutes. Everyone can feel comfortable being inside. So we're going through a lot. We're jumping through a lot of hoops, cutting through a lot of red tape, but we're making it happen, baby. And it's going to be an action-packed, epic event. I guarantee you that.
Awesome. And somebody actually had a question for you. How do you win on the ECF's radar?
As a fighter?
As a fighter.
I get a lot of coaches, and when I first started out, I would literally visit every gym. I would show up to about 3 to 10 gyms a week. I would bring my bag, no bullshit. I would bring my training bag. This is fresh off me being a competitive athlete. I had a pretty bad car accident. It took me a few years of recovery. But I would bring my gym bag with me, and I would spar with these guys. And I would just, put on my gear, go toe to toe, see who had talent, watch the guys get in there, watch them mix it up with them. And that's how I originally used to talent scout, and get my name and get their out there. And then once ECF came, because honestly, true story, I was in Iceland on vacation, and I'm at the bar, and people are screaming ECF. Blew my mind in Iceland, so it really has traveled. We have quite a following, and so these days a lot of athletes just send in their stuff to me. The coaches send in their stuff to me. If I find anybody on social media, if anybody gives me a hot tip about a fighter, I do have talent scouts that work for me that go to a lot of events and not only scout on the internet, but scout live. So there's a lot of different ways that I get my guys, my athletes, I should say, that participate.
Awesome. Very cool. You got a question?
So you said that you would go and you would spar with the guys.
Yeah.
Were you kind of like you're the gauging point? Like if you can beat me, then you're probably ready for the show, or like you can give me a little bit of a hard time. Let's get going.
Fighter coming up, man. So if they could hang with me, then they would be good on the show. But absolutely, and they could. It's important to know that they can take a shot. So I like to see the way a person responds to getting a good shot. If they respond, with that weird reaction, they get flinchy, or all of a sudden they're not fighting the same way. That's kind of a telltale sign for me that they might not be ready for this level of an event. But if I crack them with a good shot or land a nice leg kick on them, and they give me that look like, and then they give it back, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that person who can not only crack, but crack back.
I wish Dana White took that same philosophy. He got in there and
guys do.
I mean, I think all the promoters should make it a shot at it. I think Scott Coker, the guy from One. I mean,
that was
Lex McMahon did it.
I mean, yeah, right. Like, well, but you got to see on the level. Let's see. I personally want to see Dana White, Francis Ngannou, 1 round, 1 2-minute round.
That'd be cool.
I want to watch it. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, and Dana's a big guy, man, and he's got some boxing under his belt.
Does he though? Does he though? I mean, okay.
Ngannou, you put him in there with the hardest hitting guy in the sport, so obviously you're not a fan, I guess.
No. I'm just saying. I want excitement. Let's be honest. I want excitement. Like that's a fight that would be exciting. I'd be interested in that.
Man, I think Francis Ngannou would know better than to crack him though. If he ever wanted to work again, you know what I mean?
Fuck that, man. Nah, it's your boss. You only get 1 shot at that. 1 shot. Make it.
One of the best fights I've ever seen. This was a charity event. It was a contest at Crunch Fitness when I used to work there back in 1999. They did a contest where a person gets trained and their boss gets trained. It was called Fight Your Boss. And they get 2 months of training and they literally get to fight their boss in an exhibition. Whoa. Let me tell you. The cross-gender match too. Some of these people were cracking their boss upside the head. I was really wondering if they had a job on.
Well, I mean, I think you make the decision. You make a decision at that point. Do I really need this job?
Yeah.
Not that much.
I am so thankful that I am like literally so thankful I never had to spar you to get the commentating gig because I wouldn't be alive doing this interview. So like, I'm into
that. You know what? As a matter of fact, from now on, if I have to hire an instructor, they have to be able to hang with me. That's the new rule. That's
started a trend now. Look at what I did.
I like it.
And it just goes to you being a competitor your entire life because, like, I've seen students of yours actually fight on the ECF card. There's no padding. You're going to put them in a competitive fight. They're going to be in a competitive fight. Win or lose, you're in the back, not just giving your own students advice, but also giving other folks advice. Like, I see you backstage all the time, even as a promoter, giving these young talent advice on how to further their career. And you're watching these fights, and it's not your job as a promoter. Your job is to put on the show, but you're also so engaged with the talent. All the talent, every single one of them. It just shows like, and even the level of production all the way down, you can just tell you're an MMA fan. It's very rare for a legit lifelong MMA fan. People jump on the bandwagon to put on these shows because they know there's money in it. But you can tell, top to bottom, left and right, focusing on the little details that you actually love the sport. And it shows in every single event that you put on ECF. I have to tell you that.
Thank you very much, man. When I was coming up as a fighter, it was like hit or miss. Every third or fourth fight you fought was a sanctioned bout. Our spots. You fought in basements of path marks. Every now and then you got to fight in a nice venue. I fought for some great promoters in my life, and I fought for some shitty promoters in my life. And there were times where I put up promotions where I was kind of embarrassed to be there. Meanwhile, I sold 50 or 100 tickets, and my friends are like, this is not what we expected, bro. So I made it a point that I did become a promoter. I wanted it to be a show every single fighter would be proud to be a part of. And talking to the fighters backstage, nothing makes me happier. I make it one of the top 3 promotions in the world. So that's always my goal. Obviously, yes, I look to go throw great shows, fans entertain. But being a coach and being a fighter my whole life, a big part of what I do is getting those fighters seen and promoted to the point and confident enough where they believe in themselves enough to fight major conglomerates like the UFC 1 or Bellator, And obviously my end game, my goal is to have a show to that tier and to that level. It is a hard climb, and it's not an easy venture. I've been in it now for 8 years with my own promotion, 10 years helping out with other promotions, and I'm not going anywhere. This is what I do. This is what I love. I'm hooking up some big things. Looking at the show on the road and travel, not only up the East Coast, but also throughout the country. So I have that cooking right now, working on some national sponsorship and big things to come. First, as always, my hometown, New York again. Throw some killer shows here, get everyone back, ready to fight, back into the mix, get the dust off, get the rust off, and for 2022, expect some big things, maybe even towards the second half of 2021. But first up, June 26th, got Back with a Vengeance, and then July 31st, you got the Warriors Challenge, and these are going to be 2 epic, action-packed events. K1, Muay Thai, and MMA. And I'm really excited with the amazing amount of talent. And my apologies right now. Me personally, I'm going to apologize to from out of state, from the country. Usually we feature fighters from all over. I've had fighters from Hawaii that come in every year, fighters from Brazil, Dominican Republic, Canada, you name it. But right now, because of the restrictions, I'm holding the fighters to within a 2 or 3 hour driving distance. And, honestly, guys, it's no offense to anybody. We're just under all this red tape and all this COVID safety here in New York, that for my first 2 shows, that's what I'm doing. So I just wanted to reach out to all the fighters and say, my apologies. We'll be back. Hopefully when this all comes out in the fall, I'll start taking in fighters from those regions again, from Central and West Coast as well, because I know there's a lot of guys disappointed that I didn't get to put them on the show. But we will be back, bringing everybody in from across the globe again, as soon as things go down. And I look forward to it. I love that. I love having talent from all over the world come in and compete against my New Yorkers.
Awesome. Gabe, you had a question?
So Christian, you said that you've done MMA like on an amateur level. Is that right? So is it primarily in New York, or have you expanded out past that, or is that like what made you realize you wanted to become the promoter to actually look? I've dealt with. You said you dealt with good promoters, dealt with bad promoters, but being the actually going in there and competing, was that the reason that you're like, I want to start my own show? I want to do this properly, or what was?
You know what? It was a mixture of fighting on some really amazing promotions and fighting on some promotions that my fans kind of my boys kind of ribbed me at, wow, like an underground movie. You're fighting in this parking lot. And it was kind of cool, especially at the time. It wasn't as mainstream and popular. It wasn't sanctioned then. So yeah, I got injured early, and it shut my career down pretty early. I had 2 reconstructive elbow surgeries. You can see this elbow's pretty jacked up. It looks like it's more than an elbow. That's a regular. Is that one over there? I'm gonna hit you with that. So during my recovery, man, I have a good friend, Reckless. Shout out to my buddy Steve. I was pretty depressed going through my rehabilitation, and I had a notebook that I always carried with me, and I would jot down things as I was a fighter about things that I like or about things that I would do. But during my rehabilitation, I was convinced that I was still gonna come out of this and fight. Telling me that, you know, these were here, probably wouldn't get cleared. I have my back, and I've had 2 reconstructive elbow surgeries. They want to replace the vertebrae in my neck, spinal. I worked through all that. Didn't get the back surgery. But I realized that I wasn't competing, and I still wanted to be involved. And just alone wasn't enough. You know, my buddy said, "Christian, for this promotion, always talked about wanting that's wait, do it now." So we did it. ECF won, baby.
The audio on your end is a little bit rough. I'm sure because you're in the den, because reception's a little bit wacky. It's complete. I got the gist of it, especially dealing with injuries and being a competitor your entire life. I mean, it's that's gotta be tough to hang up those gloves, and it just goes back to the mixed martial arts in you, where you were so selfish when it comes to mixed martial arts that you pretty much knew that journey was ending, and you decide to give you had the spotlight on you winning multiple titles, and now is the time to shine the spotlight on the future of the sport. And you had 40 people going to Bellator and all these different promotions, and a sprinkle going to the UFC, and it's a testament to the mixed martial arts that you are, and you are. It just shows. ECF is one of the best promotions on the East Coast. It's one of the best promotions I ever been a part of, and will be a part of. And as a color commentator, I'm honored to be a part of the show. So we're gonna wrap this up like a Christmas present. Obviously, you're with your family, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on. So where can we find you? Where can we buy tickets? Where let you do the show shout outs, and the floor is yours, my friend.
All right. Well, you can get your tickets on watchecf.com. You can pre-buy your pre-sale tickets now, and go to fightplanet.tv if you guys want to watch the pay-per-view, because this will be a pay-per-view live stream event. If anybody wants to train, you can check me out in Lynbrook, 147 Sunrise Highway. My Instagram is at Chris ECF MMA, at Extreme Cage Fighting, and at ECF MMA Gym. And look forward to being back on the show. We could do a post-show interview after the event and hype up the next show, which will just be a month later. Hopefully we'll have some better audio on my end. My apologies for that.
That's okay.
It's sounding good now.
Yeah, this is actually the best audio of the entire show right now.
I got to scream right into here then with my face right in the camera. I just want to shout out Aquabag. Thank you very much for all your support, even throughout the pandemic. They were a great sponsor, awesome people. And all the people who have been by me from the beginning. Tim from Spit the Truth Clothing. Shout out to Tim. And shout out to my crew, Rivera, my COO, Kristen Giordano, my buddy Anthony Giordano, and all the people who have supported me from day one. My family, they have a big part of this. Out always, and everybody who's never given up and who's always believed in me, because I've had quite the crazy life and quite the crazy ride, but it feels good to be where I'm at and to be helping others and to putting on some great events. And believe me, we're going to have many to come, and they're just going to get better.
Absolutely, brother. And audio problems or not, definitely, I can't wait to check out ECF, and especially being a commentator. The fans buy tickets on watchecf.com for both June and July. Also, buy the pay-per-view on Fight Planet TV. And Christian, it's an honor to have you on. It's an honor to call you a friend.
A little drop the mic moment. Wrestlers out there, pro wrestlers,
I'm thinking about starting my own pro wrestling promotion.
Oh, big news to come. Oh, don't let the cat out of the bag yet. That comes for another show.
I got things cooking. All right.
Christian, you're the man.
Promotion. Thank you very much for having me. Watch ECF.com, June 26th. Epic event. We're back, baby. And we're back with event.
Awesome, brother. Can't wait to get you back on the show next month. Christian, thank you so much for coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
That's what we do.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, man. I'm so hyped right now. I'm so hyped.
I think you may need to just go out there with the camera.
Jake, go out with the camera right now. Sir.
All right.
That was amazing.
Good stuff. How's it going?
Gabe has a special class going on, a special private seminar going on. So we get to hear.
Yeah, that's why I'm at the gym right now. I usually don't shoot from the gym, but today's a special event just for our listeners. With Christian's audio and the screaming in my gym, it is a perfect day.
You know what? Like both of the badass gym owners of the world just have audio issues. It happens. These guys are busy. These guys are doing their thing, making the world a better place by being gym owners, by being promoters, by training the next generation of the sport. You got to have a little bit of audio problems. And Christian is a great guy. Commentating for ECF and being on Fight Planet. Also, he had an event on Fight TV, which was very successful. I mean, he's very passionate about the sport. You can just tell. And his stepdad too I had conversations with me. He's a great guy. So he comes from good stock, and he's a great individual and a great a great guy. I can't say enough good things about him, obviously.
I know.
And you can watch ECF on watchecf.com, buy tickets, and also you can order the pay-per-view on Fight Plan TV for June 26th and in July as well. Back-to-back events. MMA is back in fucking New York. I can't wait. And Gabe, you also have a little gym going on, and maybe we can blast up that advertisement because the show, Fight Mixer, and the screaming that you hear right now, that beautiful screaming of hard work going on, it's coming from.
Look at that. Ooh.
Oh my God, look at that. Beautiful. Kind of
looks good.
Tarzan.
Looks good. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the gym being back and all the gyms being back, talking to Christian about that. We're those of us that do this business are fortunate. This is what we get to do for a living, and the fact that we have the ability to do it once again is even that much better. So.
Yeah, you guys have the best job in the world. I mean, you guys get to do what you love.
And then don't forget the ever popular Jordan. Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Berserk.
Be sure to buy some Dragon protein. If you want to get jacked like Gabe, okay? If you want to be able to have tiger blood going through your veins like Gabe, get some Dragon protein. Go on the website, buy some. And then.
As a matter of fact, I was hiking with my dogs for like 3 hours earlier today. I was exhausted when I came to the gym. I'm like, oh, I don't have coffee here. Oh, what do I have?
Dragon protein.
Oh, well, if you don't mind if I do. And so I popped one in a little bottle, and I'm good to go. Good, solid stuff.
And then you want to sculpt your head on the mountain after you drank some Dragon protein, but the mountain wasn't hard enough. Is that correct?
I probably won't sleep tonight. I'm probably going to
Wired for sound, baby. It's okay. It's all good.
It's good stuff.
All right. So before we wrap up the show, thank you, Christian, for coming on the show, running ECF. Obviously, June and July, we're going to be promoting that event. And also, you can use the promo code FightMixer when you buy tickets. Remember, June 26th, ECF, back with vengeance. Buy it on Fight Plan TV or order tickets, buy tickets. Queens, New York. Watch ECF.com. Gabe, final thoughts, final words, sir.
I'm just thankful to be here. It feels like it's been a while since we've been on the show, so now it feels good to be back. But yeah. So, like, do we have a little hiatus? Was there like a?
I think it was a week and a half instead of a week because we moved.
Yeah, it felt like I felt like I was missing a part of my
your routine.
My normal routine. It felt weird, but it's good to be back.
Matt, any final thoughts from the producer, the master producer himself, who has a show coming up after this, where you can watch Bare Knuckles Most Wanted, one of my favorite shows ever, on Amazon, which we're number 10, by the way. Can't dust your shoulder off, Gabe and Matt, because we are now number 10, top 10.
I want to be. I'm not happy being 10. I want to be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the final number 1. And I want to like to stay at number 1 for as long as possible.
As long as we're beating the New York Jets, I must be celibate because I don't give a shit.
Yep, for the New York Jets.
We're beating the Avalanche now.
Okay, so beating the New York Jets, you just have to have like what, 10 fans? That's what it takes. I mean, come on.
We're number 10, which is Amazon top 100 in the world. We're number 10. They're number 13. So we have given Jets another L, which is like the 20th L this season. So good job, Playmaker.
To improve that, we need to make sure we download the Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV app, and Roku app.
There.
Yep. So
I have it.
So Gabe, thank you very much for coming on the show once again. My co-host with the most, and Matt, the producer. Check out Bare Knuckles Most Wanted coming up after the show. We're gonna have another great show coming up on Wednesday with the girls show, and also we're gonna be back on the Horn on next Sunday. So boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you very much. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Matt. Signing off for the Fight Mixer. Bare Knuckles Most Wanted. Peace.
Perfect.